Some saying a sweetheart deal sealed the fate of health care in the Senate. The 60th vote, the crucial one, Nebraska Senator Ben Nelson was able to get his state completely exempted from the cost of Medicaid expansion forever. But now major criticism throughout the Senate. Yesterday on Fox and Friends, Republican Lindsey Graham was steamed.
I don't think most senators believe this is okay. And if it is, just say so. I'm on your show. I think it stinks. I think it's sleazy. Now, if you disagree with me, you think it's good politics, come on some show and say it's okay with you. Go back to your state and tell the people in your state, our Medicaid bills are going to go up, your taxes are going to go up, but we had to do this to get Nebraska on board.
So was this move really sleazy politics like Senator Graham says, or is it just the way Washington works? On our political panel today, attorney and Democratic consultant Tamara Holder, former communications director for Senator Ben Nelson, David DiMartino, is screen left, and Republican political strategist and pollster Justin Safey. Good morning to all of you.
Morning. Good morning.
All right, David, let's start with you. Let's talk about your old boss, Senator Ben Nelson. Lindsey Graham says that what he got was a sleazy deal. What do you say?
Well, I'll take Senator Graham up on his challenge. I'm here on your show to say that this actually is politics as usual. Senator Graham knows very well, as do all the other 40 Republican senators, that this is how things happen in Washington. For 200 years, majority leaders in the Senate and presidents of both parties have been doing this kind of horse trading in order to complete their agenda. And for all the fake and faux outrage out there about how this deal was cut is just amusing to me.
Yeah,
because
David, there is outrage, though, from people in the other 49 states who are going to have to cough up the cash.
Well, Steve, the issue is that Medicaid is a federal unfunded mandate, and Senator Nelson, when he was governor, fought against unfunded mandates. And so what he did on this particular piece of legislation is consistent with what he's always been saying, that if the federal government wants to expand Medicaid coverage, then the federal government should pay for it. And so, you know, I understand Lindsey Graham and Jim DeMint, their predicament is that they sat on the sidelines and did nothing. All they said was no, 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 all no to everything all day long. And they sat on their sidelines and they left their own state out of the deal. They should be investigated for abandoning their constitutional responsibility to represent South Carolina in the Senate.
Okay, that is an interesting perspective. Tamara, what do you say about that?
Yes. Well, you know, this shouldn't be just politics as usual, and this isn't sleazy. This is gangster. I'm in Chicago, and now I have to like look over my shoulder. This is insane. We're talking about closed-door deals. Nobody's sitting on the sideline. They weren't even allowed into this conversation. This is Harry Reid and Nelson
Tamara.
In the back room.
Tamara, that's
you can't
nonsense.
Come in. Oh yeah,
complete
no, it's
nonsense.
not nonsense. Nobody was allowed inside there to have this conversation.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and listen to nonsense. Well, yeah, go right ahead, please.
Okay, well, if I could just finish my nonsense point. My point is that this is unconstitutional. This is... Okay, well, this is unconstitutional. This is gangster politics. Nobody else had, you know, a say in this. It's one person. You know, all the other states are left out, and there are going to be major constitutional arguments that this is unfair. The basic premise of our country is equality. Equality. Where is the equality? Nebraska gets something, and here in Illinois we don't get it. That is insane, and that is wrong.
Okay, we are going to continue the conversation because a third of the panel has not yet weighed in. Justin, on the other side of this timeout. All right, welcome back. We've got a political panel today, and we were talking about the fact that Senator Ben Nelson of Nebraska got a sweetheart deal to the tune of $100 million for Nebraska that will last forever. We've got Tamara Holder, David DiMartino. He's the former communications director for Senator Nelson, and Justin Safey, who did not get to weigh in. Justin, what do you think about this?
Well, I think it says a lot about the substance of the health care bill that President Obama couldn't even get a Democratic senator from his own party to vote for the bill and to support the bill without cutting a deal, without these deals being cut. To the American people that are following this, not many of them are going to be able, if any, are going to be able to read 2,000 pages of the bill, but they have enough horse sense to know that if there are deals being cut like this and if votes are being taken at 1 a.m. in the morning, that tells them probably all they need to know about the substance of the bill, just looking at the ugliness of this process.
Tamara, I know you are a Democratic consultant. You've worked with Democrats during your entire career. the Democrats are getting a great deal out of this deal, but it is interesting. I mean, or are they? Are they just doing exactly what they're being told? I mean, you look over in the House and you've got, for instance, Bart Stupak. He's strident about this abortion language. He's not going to allow any funding, and so you got to figure going forward, some of these guys are going to have to speak up.
Well, yeah, that's the problem, and that's why I think so many Americans, the people who voted for Obama, are upset here. A lot of people say that I sound like a Republican, but we're having problems. What about Obama and his transparency and all of this openness that is supposed to take place? Now we have sweetheart deals going on. That's not what Democrats, that's not what America as a whole wants. We want change. We do not want business as usual, what the Republicans used to do. We want to see open door negotiation, the C-SPAN discussions. Where is all of that? And that's the issue. And the Democrats need to come out and they need to say we are against sweetheart, backdoor, closed door deals.
Yeah, David, when's somebody going to say that?
Well, I guess I'm a little confused by what Tamara is complaining about. The fact that we're all here on the TV show this morning talking about the substance of this deal indicates that it's transparent. We all know about it. We're talking about it. So I'm not sure what the problem
we're on TV, but the legislators who are striking the deals aren't on TV as it's happening.
Right, but I mean, you've been showing clips all morning of Senator Nelson on the floor and other people on the floor, Governor Heineman backtracking on his request for this money on TV, Senator Graham and his comment about
they're giving their
politics.
sound bites. That's not the same.
Right, but we all know, my point, Tamara, is that we know the details of what transpired, and we're talking about them, and that's part of the process. And I think what Senator Nelson did was advance the ball forward. People are going to look back on this vote, history's going to look back on this vote very favorably and say this was an important vote in the history of the Senate where 30 million people are now going to have access to health care. Okay. No one's going to be talking about this deal or, you know, what you're complaining about.
Well, I tell you what, people will be talking.
Access to health care isn't the same as being able to pay for it.
And people will be talking, Justin, you get the final word about how the fact there is not a single Republican vote in it.
Well, it's unfortunate that there wasn't more bipartisanship on the part of the administration to try to reach out across the aisle like President Bush did with his signature domestic policy initiative, education reform, as he reached across the aisle to Senator Ted Kennedy. It's unfortunate that we're not going to get 87 votes in the Senate for this bill like the No Child Left Behind Act got for President Bush's domestic policy initiative in his first year.
Great points.
The difference, Justin, is that the Democrats aren't here just to say no like the Republicans are. They're unified in their opposition to everything.
They were never given an opportunity to participate in a bipartisan way.
The debate's been going on for a year, and Senator Grassley and Senator Baucus had 35 meetings on this bill. I mean, that's a ridiculous point. The GOP should change its name to the NOP because it's nope. Nope on everything.
All right. We're going to have to end it on that happy note. David and Tamara and Justin, we thank you all for joining us today to discuss what's going on up on Capitol Hill.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, all of you.